And we're live, back with Tryston to part 3 of 4. So then, Tryston, please tell us about your strengths. No need to be modest. Let us have it.
Well, I wouldn't really see them as strengths. I just see them as,
Facts.
yeah, facts. Yeah, it's just part of me. My ability to, once again, read people, or my focus on reading people. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm as good at it as I could be. Um, but very insightful, very resourceful when it comes to certain things. I have this way of overthinking the crap out of everything. That's what my mom tells me. But
Oh, what are
huh?
the sort of things that you tend to overthink?
Meanings, what people like, what is the, like what is a person, people, things like that. Just really focus on what it means to be a certain thing or whatever it is that I'm into at the time. I used to write things about that stuff all the time as a kid. Now I sort of just meditate on it. But yeah, I'm always focused on the self. Tend to overthink things that involve people, like certain moves, like being able to smile in a person's face and do things like that. It comes off as like, yeah, you're trying to give them this positive vibe, or certain moves I'll be able to see in light of certain things. It's just really hard for me to describe. I don't know. I just do it. It's one of those things that I just overthink gestures of kindness, like where it would position you in this social circle, things like that. I'm always very focused on social circles and how you can ascend. Like the way I can best describe it is 1 + 1 = 2. So
Did you do you have principles that you follow logically?
depends on what I'm thinking about. Oftentimes, no. When it comes to figuring out people, no. I just snap into a mode. Okay, let me figure this person out, and then I get them. And that's it. There's no real system for me. No,
Right. So you
no, no
wouldn't
rules.
you wouldn't say that you stubbornly follow your principles.
No, I don't really follow any principles. I just go with the flow.
Right. Um, oh, right. Could you give some examples of some of the insights that you've had? Because you did say that you're insightful. Back it up.
Hmm. Insights. Um. Depend. There are some that I get. It's just based off of people I've met in the past. Sometimes that's what it feels like, but I'm just able to connect what I see in a person. Once again, I know how you can't define a person when you meet them like just then, like that day. So I never really do it that day. It's more like over the course of time. So I'm just able to say things out loud to my friends to be like, yeah, he's going to do this today, or he's going to feel like this. And, you know, my other friends that are not as necessary, they're not focused on those things. They, tend to be like, well, where are you getting this from? Or, I seem to be the crazy person of my group. Um, then it usually ends up coming true. So I just pay a lot of attention. My
you think
insights aren't really necessarily like insights into a person. It's just like, okay, I see you for who you are, unfiltered. I'm not going to put any of my biases on you. I don't want you to be a certain way. This is who you are. This is what I see, and then I'm able to just guess, I guess you could say, from there.
would you say you have a good memory compared to other people?
Yes. It's pretty good.
Well, you said that
it depends on, yeah, but once again, it all depends on like what's important to me at the time. I'm able to remember specific things for whatever shows, whatever names, whatever, pretty much anything that was of interest to me in the past, I have complete knowledge of. I always remember at all times. So you were saying?
Yeah, it's just people will tag that with a certain function. The listeners, they'll tag that. Do you when approaching a problem, do you or a complex task, do you like to improvise, or do you stick to one method, or do you switch between a lot of different by the book methods?
I would have to study the book beforehand. Oftentimes I don't like, I listen and I acknowledge to what the right thing is to do, you know, but it goes in one ear, it comes out the other. So I often end up, you know, improvising. So I like doing things on the spot.
That's good.
Yeah.
The reason I asked that question is that it's a certain thing in one of Victor's profiles. So that's why I asked that. That's it. Without, I don't want to give the game away. Surely you've got more strengths.
See, I don't see them as strengths. Once again, you know, I just see a lot of things that I need to improve on. You know,
What was the first thing I said to you within about 5 minutes of meeting you? And then you said, "Oh, Ben, everyone says that."
it's my voice. But yeah, once again, everybody says that. I don't see that as a strength unless, you know, I decide to go down that route of using it, which I am. So it's going to become a strength. But, you know, in a day by day thing, I guess, yeah, I have a voice that people would want to listen to. Yeah. But once again, I don't necessarily focus on strengths all that much.
Right. Well, this might be a short video. Right. So being observant, good memory, being insightful because you're attentive and observant. The ability to focus. Do you think you have a very good ability to focus?
Very good.
Right.
Yeah, being able to pick things apart, being able to make systems out of thin air.
How about when your dad was teaching you the stuff with the auto repair and all of that? Were you good at it and just not interested, or?
I was good at it. I was good at everything he threw at me. But I just lacked the, once again, I was very resentful. I wanted to hang out with my friends, so, you know.
Right.
But I was very good at all that. Computers, programming, newsletters, construction work, you name it.
Are you good under pressure?
Yes.
Tell on.
Depends on, you know, like, it depends on who it is that's pressuring me. If it was my father back in the day pressuring me, then, you know, I would sort of fall to pieces. But whenever it's just day by day, or you know, I'm expected to do something, I tend to actually lay pressure onto myself because I expect myself to be a certain way, which once again, I've tried to make a rule of not having any expectations of myself and just go with it. But yeah, I'm really good at being able to react in a certain situation. Just
without revealing your temperament, are there certain things that other people would consider dangerous that you consider exciting?
yes. Martial arts, fighting, construction work. I really love doing that stuff. I love just doing things, you know, just getting out of my head and just running with it. But yeah, skydiving. I told my family that I wanted to do it. They thought I was crazy. I just really like to do as many of those things as possible. But they, once again, you know, they're just like, what? You need money to do that.
I'm not so sure what the socionics people will say, but I think when the people in the Kersey temperament theory group see this, they should have a pretty solid idea which role variant you are.
Yeah. But I mean, like, why is it seen as crazy? You know, it's, yeah, I can understand your life's at danger, but your life is fleeting anyway.
Oh, there's this. I remember something you said about your attitude towards. You thought of going into the military, and then your reaction to other people saying, "Oh, but you might come back with a maimed or with a limb missing." And what was your reaction to that?
It was like, yeah, it didn't really bother me. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like, yeah, you know, I would either, you know, it's two extremes for me. I would want to die right then and there, you know, I'd rather die, or I would just continue living. It's all a part. Like, I mean, if I'm meant to lose my leg, then I'll lose my leg. If I'm meant to lose all that, because, you know, there are plenty of soldiers that come back, fine. But, you know, we pay a lot of attention to the people who came back looking a little busted up. Because, yeah, you know, that's just, I'm not worried about that. Every time I tell someone, like, because my family, I told them that I wanted to join the military and things like that. And they were like, oh, you need to join the Air Force. You need to do this. It's safer. You need to do that. I'm like, no, if I'm going to join, I'm going to join the Marines. I want something to remember. I don't want to be bored.
Right.
I want to be pushed.
So you like a challenge?
Yes, I love challenges. Love chase, love challenge, love anything that stimulates my mind, stimulates my body, anything I have to move towards. Once again, you know, it can't be like long term, like so far ahead in the future that it's like, okay, I don't really know how I'll see myself then. You know, if it's like week based, something I could finish within an hour, like how I told you that that moving thing with my uncle when I was moving into his house, or helping him move into his house. Just things like that. Very, very important.
Do you think you are? Do you pride yourself on your adaptability?
Yes. Yes, indeed. There have been plenty of times where I can just give an example. You know, my father, he would, you know, lay down punishments and stuff like that around, because I wasn't exactly a good kid. I was a chill kid, but I wasn't a good kid. So, you know, he would take things away. He would take video games. He would take TV and all that away from me. And he would want us to do certain things or get in certain drives. And he would sort of like, you know, try to make us do other things in order to get them back. And I would just learn how to live without the things that he took from me. I would just be like, hey, if I can't have it anymore, I guess I'll start reading, writing, practicing the martial arts that I did, just keep doing that. So he started realizing that, I wasn't really driven to get the things back. So he would get angry, be like, why don't you want anything? And,
Would you, has anyone ever called, have many people called you audacious or an equivalent word that means the same thing?
Audacious. In what way? Like, nobody's ever really called me audacious.
Oh, fearless,
People,
bold,
yes,
assertive.
not assertive. Once again, I try not to be. I mean, I have been in the past, but try to keep that to a minimum. I don't want to seem like I don't want to seem like I'm impeding. Assertive instantly makes you imagine this person that's knocking on your door asking for your bill every month.
But you do have an instinct within you to be assertive.
Yes.
Do you see being impulsive as a good thing?
No. Well, to be honest with you, no, I do not. I don't like it at all, actually. Yeah, it doesn't. I usually regret it immediately afterwards. After I say or do something. Whenever it's things that are like love or relationships and things like that, I'll just dive headfirst in them and be like, you are the person I've been waiting for. And like a week later, I learned I just regret it. It's never been my best friend at all. However, logical thinking, calming down, being like this, being cool, has always helped.
In terms of impulsivity, in terms of physical things rather than emotional things, do you think that you more interpret that as that is an asset, the ability to react quickly, or you have an impulse to react in a certain way can be an advantage?
Yes, I see that as an advantage, always. Other times, if it's the emotional stuff, I'm not really good with emotions.
Could you give us some examples of the physical things where you see that almost impulsive ability to react quickly or instinctively is an advantage?
Whenever it comes to me almost dropping something in the kitchen, I catch it immediately. Or I can just imagine, okay, this thing's going to fall and I can't do anything about it. Let me just move my hand this way, get it. Back when I, once again, did karate, I was able to just stop people in their tracks. It was very, it was just my focus. Other times, like I would sometimes be very angry and just lash out all of my anger in fighting. But most of the time I like to take the, okay, you're going to do this. I can imagine you doing this thing. So then I take them that way.
Is, given its martial arts, do you pride yourself on in many aspects in your artistry? Many various artistic expressions?
Yes. If there's anything that I enjoy more, I mean, I've always liked the arts. Anything that's been a form of expression, I've always loved. No matter if it's dancing, any kind of dancing, singing, music, drawing. I've really actually been into art. I love people who are artists. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because I can't do it myself, or I don't have the patience to just sit there and draw such a detailed picture. But I've always really, really liked those things.
Right. What we can do is go over a table of other strengths of different temperaments. Let's see how you match those. What we got here? Okay. Right. So let's move on to a different temperament. So do you pride yourself on being dependable, beneficent, and respectable?
Respectable? No.
No, that's because it's a different temperament from yours.
Yeah, it's like I get told that all the time, but it's like it's not a thing. No.
Yeah. And here's another temperament that people of this following temperament will pride themselves on rather a lot: being empathetic, benevolent, and authentic. Do you spend your waking days thinking, "I've got to be authentic today"?
No. No.
And then the final temperament is they pride. This might be some similarities. They pride themselves on being ingenious, autonomous, and resolute.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah.
But more so with
autonomy. Yeah, that's something that I've. Yeah.
But more so with artistic, audacious, and adaptable.
That's definitely me.
Right. Would you say that you are optimistic yet cynical?
Optimistic in certain. Once again, it depends on how close you are to me. I'll be optimistic. I always try to make people focus on the positives in order for them to, keep going with their life. But I'd say I'm pretty cynical.
Are you
cynical?
are you focused on yesterday, today, or tomorrow?
Today.
Today.
Focuses on today.
Pardon?
It's definitely focused on today.
Right. Yep. Right. This one's quite funny. Do you aspire to be a virtuoso, an executive, a sage, or a wizard?
What? That came out of nowhere. I want to be a wizard. No, what? I don't know how I'm supposed to answer that.
Yeah, that's what in the Kersey Matrix it has. NTs want to be wizards, NFs want to be sages, Guardians want to be executives, and artisans want to be virtuosos. So
Yeah, I don't really have a full understanding of what a virtuoso is. So
well, it's almost like, wow, that guy's got some skills. He is like demonstrating ability to like impress people with his skills, be it in sport or art.
I don't necessarily do it to impress.
You
see, I'm more I'll go down that route, but I'm not necessarily trying to prove anything to anyone.
But to be seen good at what you do.
Oh yes.
So for instance, when someone's really good, they'll say it's a virtuoso performance.
Never heard of that one.
Right.
I'm still a youngin'.
So here's some other ones. 4 things. One of the temperaments will seek stimulation. The other one, security. The third one, identity, and
Identity.
Yeah, we know which temperament that is.
Yeah. I'm definitely more focused on. Wait, what was the first one that you said?
First one was stimulation.
Stimulation.
And then it was so stimulation, security, and then identity and knowledge.
Yeah, I'm more stimulation and knowledge.
Oh yeah, and getting back to knowledge, what sorts of knowledge do you seek?
I seek the knowledge that, I mean, whatever I'm into at the time. If it's a video game, I want to know everything about the video game. If it's a card game, I want to figure out everything. Once again, I don't want to be surprised. Not in a sense that it's like shut down. It shuts down all excitement of the game. But because I'll shy away from spoilers and stuff like that. I don't want to be spoiled. But I definitely like to know every system, what everything is working with. How does this work? I'll be sure to actually play every single character or play every single deck or, just give myself that exposure, that experience to understand how that works. And you never know what's going to happen. You don't ever want to have a door closed where you're only allowed to use this specific thing, and it's like, oh, I've never practiced with that thing, now I can't go and do that thing that I really want to do. I don't like that.
Are many of the things that you seek knowledge in things that involve stimulation?
Yeah, I found people involved stimulation. Yeah, actually, it's pretty good.
Right.
Pretty good analysis.
People should be able to work out your temperament. So I think we've covered most of your strengths. Worked in a bit of Kersey temperament theory. Right. So if we got any more strengths hidden up your sleeve?
Then they wouldn't be hidden up my sleeve if I told you.
Okay, that's right. He's got a load. He's got a ton up there. I don't even know about them because they're up his sleeve. So he will be releasing them in future.
Yes.
So we'll end this one now and then go on to weaknesses. Might only be a minute long, knowing him.